Hi YouTube. It's been a while. I just got done watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and I gotta tell you, it looks pretty promising for the show. Very promising. I know that a lot of you are not fans of the Star Trek, the lore, the canon, whatever you may call it, but yeah, very promising to those that are enjoying the stories, are enjoying the episodes, enjoying the characters, everything. My 2 points of this video is pretty much to state on two major questions that I'm having with the last episode. Of course, we'll all find out what happens later on with Una in season 2. Of course, I'm going to be holding my breath, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are as well. But my first question is basically is centered. Well, not mainly centered. Okay. Possibly my secondary question. My main question I will hold, and this, of course, question is pretty much beholden to you, to whoever watches this. My secondary question would be, what will the future hold in the sense of pretty much every single one of the characters that, of course, aren't part of Strange New Worlds, but will be part of future events in Star Trek, which, of course, pass Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which meaning Sulu, Kirk, Spock, Uhura, McCoy, Chekhov, and Sky. Those are the ones that I'm pretty much stating on. What exactly will the outcome of Strange New Worlds predict or fall into the line of the story for them, basing on what's going on with the Strange New World characters. And yes, I'm quite certain that a lot of us were devastated when Hemmer sacrificed himself. Amazing character, even for just one season. Amazing character. And knowing the fact that he was an NR was just pretty interesting. I like that. And then, of course, Leon, granted, her name is of a certain augment we happen to all know and love, and I'm pretty sure hate with a lot of passion. But that was my secondary question to you, the fans of Star Trek, to the lore. Just want to get your whole sense of where you guys stand on that, pretty much on the basis of how do you guys feel about those characters, their future, so on and so forth. Now, my main topic of concern is to the future Pike's reference to the war with the Romulans. And we all know, the whole temporal incursions, fluctuations within the timescape, all those types of unnecessary questions that, the Temporal Prime Directive, time travel, everything that interferes with those certain types of topics. But I find them very, very interesting to where they could possibly go for future Star Trek projects. That has always been my main focus on what happens in those certain types of, diverted timelines. Like my recent, well, not very recent, but one of my very older videos that was discussing the topics of what happened if, those, I can't remember, for the life of me, what would have happened if by destroying the parasites, the temporal parasites that were enabling Archer's memory to pretty much hold on to short term. And of course, what would happen then if they were completely taken out of that equation, but if they remained in that timeline? What would Archer do? What would T'Pol do? Or Phlox? The lasting bit of humanity, what would they do? That has always been my concern. What if? And my what if question for you guys today is, what if we took a look into that period of time where not only the Federation, they're fighting an enemy that is practically almost as relentless as the Gorn. And the Gorn are a phenomenal rival to not only Enterprise herself and her crew, but also to the Federation and the future of it. But they are quite relentless. Of course, this is also the reason why many other canon, many other lore have included them into Romulans and Gorn actually becoming allies in very future events. But my whole focus is, what if the Romulans and future Pike, he references the war going on for generation, 20 years of endless war, as the commander of the Romulan vessel stated. What would an endless war, when would it end? What if we took a look into that? Would the great people that have continued on the Star Trek lore, what if it continued? It's quite a question. To know exactly what has transpired in the last 20 years since Pike made the unfortunate and devastating decision that he made. That, of course, started the war between the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire. But what do we believe has happened in that timeline? I know what you were all saying, probably, who cares? It's another timeline, we don't want to get into that. We already got this Discovery and Picard headache, we don't want any more of, what's going on in this timeline, I completely understand. But it's just my question to anyone who's willing to answer it. But of course, I leave the answers to all of you. I, of course, have my own ideas and constructive beliefs, but of course, as I said, I leave the answers to you. And I hope you all have a good night. Thank you for hearing me out on this fine evening. And as I've said in previous videos, and to all of you Star Trek fans and Star Trek lore lovers of the world, live long and prosper.